So in this section of our notes, we're looking at what exactly is a result clause. So again, we're adding our new subjunctive clause, which is the result clause, and we're adding this in addition to the other two clauses that we already have from last chapter. So we're still going to need to identify our purpose clause and our jussive subjunctive. So remember that our purpose clause requires an ut or a ne and a subjunctive verb. And this clause is a dependent clause, so it will have a main clause along with those things. For the jussive subjunctive, it is the main verb in your sentence. So you need a subjunctive verb, and you might have ne at the beginning, but that's all that you really need is a subjunctive verb. A result clause is more like a purpose clause than a jussive subjunctive because it is a dependent clause, meaning that like a purpose clause, it cannot stand alone. So again, we're never going to be putting our ut at the beginning of our sentence. It's still going to be in the middle of our sentence, and we'll still have two verbs. So, since it is similar to a purpose clause, how do we then distinguish between a purpose clause and a result clause? There are a few different ways. We'll talk about just one of them here, and then we'll move on to forming the result clause, and we'll talk about some other ways to distinguish between them. So the first way is through their meaning. So a purpose clause tells us why an action is done, whereas a result clause tells us the result of the action, or what happened after the main clause was done. So keep going on to your next slide so we can talk more about the result clause.